Salem Dostar. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Singer Dad Reacts. My name is Josh, and I'm sorry I've been away for so long. Had a lot of things going on, and um, decided it was time to get back with the channel and start doing more reactions. Thank you all for your patience, and I thought who better to come back with after a long absence but Dimash. So you all have said a lot of very positive things about this performance of Ave Maria. And for those of you that have watched my channel in the past, you know that one of the things I like to do is to read the lyrics for the songs that I react to. With this particular song, I was unable to find any lyrics. I looked all over the web. I looked on Dimash's YouTube site, and I wasn't able to find the Dimash specific lyrics for this song. So I had a choice. I could either not do the lyrics for this particular performance, or I could read through the lyrics that are part of the Schubert version of the song, the Hail Mary and Blessed is the Lord, and those types of lyrics that are from that arrangement of this song. But I felt like, since a lot of you had said that this was a different version from the Schubert version, that it wouldn't make sense to really read those lyrics, because it sounds like his lyrics are quite a bit different. So I'm not going to do the lyrics for this particular performance. I'm just going to dive right in with it. For those of you that are new to my channel, thank you for coming. My channel is all about music and how it lights the world, and how we can come together through the power of music and be inspired and entertained and uplifted, and become part of a community. And I'm a classically trained vocalist, so I listen to the vocalists, the performers, and talk about my understanding of how they're kind of creating the vocals and the sounds, and also the performance itself and the story they're telling, and of course the lyrics are a big part of that as well, usually. So I hope you enjoy that type of reaction. With that, this is a fairly recent performance from Dimash from the final gala concert of the International Competition of Young Performers from the New Wave 2021 in Sochi, Russia. So with that, I will jump right in here. If you're new to my channel, or if you haven't, if you could please show your support by clicking on the subscribe and the little notifications bell here. I would appreciate that. I do appreciate all of the support I get from all the fellow deers out there. And I'm excited to see this performance. Dimash, for those of you that are new to my channel and haven't seen my Dimash reactions, I think I have close to 33 or so reactions to Dimash on my channel. So he's one of my favorites, and I really look at him like a son, and very proud of who he's becoming and the message that he tries to communicate to the world of love and family, and what he puts into his performances. So enjoy. Thank you. He's introducing Igor over there, Krutoy, who helped write this song. This is cool. They've got backup singers over there, some instrumentalists over here. Ooh, starting high. Wow. love how he just adds his own spin to every song. It's like in this particular song, in this particular version that he's created of Ave Maria, he starts out just on a simple ah, and then just does these. He's the other reactors have said this, and I agree. He is the king of breath control and adding all these different aspirations, right? Meaning, there's like breathy aspiration and all these different ones that you can do, that where you're controlling how much breath you apply to the sound and the roughness and the texture of what you're putting out. He's the king of that. This is beautiful. And I love how they start just really simple. And he does this in a lot of his songs, where there aren't backup singers singing yet. There's not really instrumentalists during this beginning part, and he's kind of starting that way, and then building as he goes usually is what he does. He's making this part a little more breathy. And there's Igor joining. Check and see if there's closed captioning on this. There isn't. But do you hear like the slight change he makes when he goes from one part of the phrase to the next? It was very subtle, but he added a little more kind of vocal fry, a little bit, to the second part. You can kind of hear that the texture was a little bit rougher there from the second part of the phrase. And you could kind of see, if you look at him, I've talked about this on my channel a lot, but you can kind of see he's very much lifting the sound, opening it up, keeping the mouth open, tongue forward. So, I mean, he's just really open, and that's indicative of this style of singing that he's doing here, more of kind of the classical type singing. But yeah, he can switch, as we've seen, between genres and types of singing and support and all of that, breathiness. He's a master at all that. So sorry for stopping again. Let me go back here. See right there? Slightly different. The backup singers. So pure. Oh, see, applied a little more mass to that sound. That's neat. Hear the resonance? Oh. Ooh. I love how they did the reverb right there. I'm not always a fan of like adding vocal effects, but the reverb is really. They did some of that in Sinful Passion as well, his performance, uh, where they had some of the reverb that kind of echoed after the note. But yeah, wow. I'm always reminded every time I do a reaction of Dimash how incredible his, not only his range, but his control and his ability to just navigate within his range and make jumps, from here to up here and just have it be just completely on the pitch and pure. Um, it's amazing what he's able to do. It's unlike anybody I've seen. And his interpretation of the song is very interesting to me because he's just on an awe. And he's just singing this the awe through the course of this song. But I love kind of how they're building it. The harmonies are kind of coming in more, and Igor's growing a little more on the piano side. So it's all kind of complementing his voice. See that? Oh, right there. That's hard, what he just did. Oh, that's soft? Wow. And he's building. Wow. I've got to hear that last part again. His control and his crescendos and decrescendos right there. I think it started about right here. Fades and then backs off again. The other thing too that I want to comment on, for those of you new to my channel, so I've done a lot of performing in not settings this large, obviously, but with specifically like a piano accompaniment for classical type recitals and things like that, with solo work and stuff similar to this, in that what I can tell you is that Igor as an accompanist and as a fellow performer in this particular instance is amazing, as you would guess, right? He's a consummate professional. But if you watch, like at the very end there as a prime example, his eyes are locked in on Dimash to kind of get his cues as to, okay, when do I let up off the keys? How do I kind of be in sync with what Dimash is doing? Because as I've read and as I've seen with my reactions to Dimash, he changes it every time, right? So he might do this song again at some point and it could be completely different. And he'll change it up in different ways, right? So Igor is just dialed in to Dimash there at the end. I'll rewind real quick and show you what I'm talking about. Right there, see him? And he just kind of, wow.
Димаш Кудайберген и Игорь Крутой.
And as usual, he's going to get like 20 bouquets of flowers, right? Wow. How many times have I said wow when doing a Dimash reaction? A lot. As those of you that have been a subscriber to my channel for a while know, whenever I watch Dimash, I'm always saying wow many times. Um, this was amazing. Another just vocal workshop on how to control your head voice, how to control your dynamics, how to sing with feeling, how to be in sync with all your fellow performers and instrumentalists and accompanists. All around, just a masterpiece. Yeah, he's just so amazing. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. And again, I love how simple it was, right? I mean, maybe the reason they didn't really have many lyrics is because he's pretty much on and off for the entire time, but he just made it his own. He doesn't have to add all of the lyrics and the words and all the and everything like that because of how good a performer he is and how well he tells the story. And as a vocalist, telling the story involves all the things I've already mentioned, right? It involves control, adding different textures to the tone, creating unique melodic phrases, which we heard in there, and singing with feeling and from the heart, and trying to share a message and tell a story with the song. So all of these things are what make an amazing performer, and he's one of the best out there. So it doesn't surprise me that this is such a well-loved performance and song. And Igor is one of the best things, in my opinion, that's happened to Dimash, because he was able to come in and create music that showcases Dimash and his abilities, his range, his phenomenal capabilities in a way that couldn't really happen when Dimash was singing covers of other people's songs, right? And Stranger, which was my last reaction, is a prime example of that, right? I think it covers like 5 octaves. There aren't songs written for a single voice that cover 5 octaves. You don't really see those because vocalists can't do that normally. So that's just one example of how Igor has really, taken him to a higher level and enabled him to really shine and show what he can do. And so I'm excited to react to more of Dimash's songs, and there's a few more that you've suggested, but if you have other suggestions that you would like for me to react to, I would appreciate if you could put those in the comments down below. And again, thank you so much for all of your support, and again, sorry for being away for so long. I look forward to more Dimash reactions and more reactions to some of your favorites out there, Sohyang and some of the others. And I'm going to put more reactions out going forward here, so there won't be this big a break going forward. So anyway, what I'll do is I'll close my reaction the same way that I do for all my reactions, and that is to say to each of you out there across the world that you are loved, you can accomplish your dreams, and you are special. And you need to know that. And that's part of why I have this channel, is so that we can all hopefully be reminded of that and be uplifted and inspired and comforted and entertained through the music that we all share together and experience. So I hope that this reaction finds you in a good place and that you're happy and you're able to handle the challenges that you have in your life. And hopefully you can feel some semblance of peace and comfort and escape from some of those challenges through my channel now and going forward. So thanks again for your support, and take care.